The RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. Live from the Milwaukee Mile, it's the Roberts Tech Jobs Elite Invitational. This broadcast brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in contract and temp to hire positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest or you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. This broadcast also being brought to you by Terry Adams and Hanover Fist Racing, proudly sponsored by the Disabled American Veterans Association, DAV, and all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. For more information on how you can get involved, go to dav.org. This broadcast also being brought to you by Mr. David Llewellyn and the DHL Express, Mr. Robert Lacavara and Convergent Composites, Mr. Hoot Baker, Joe Morganti and the Lugnuts Hub, with promotional consideration brought to you by Motorsports Graphic Designs. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, give Tyler Graff a jingle. Motorsports Graphic Designs. The RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational live from the Milwaukee Mile. Pro Mazdas, you are watching the open portion, the last chance qualifier, if you will. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight, joined by the ever-talented Mr. Kevin Paskowicz on broadcast and Mr. Alex Green on race control. Gentlemen, how are you this evening?
It's going to be a fun night tonight.
Oh yeah, man. I'm great. Looks like we're going to have 11, 12 drivers racing for those 3 transfer spots into the Invitational, which of course is a money paying event. So that's always a big deal for these guys. And I think we're going to have some fun.
I dare say you're right. I'm seeing a lot of fun about to take place. First time that the league has actually officially been to the Milwaukee Mile, and we're doing it in the Pro Mazda. Now, I know you gentlemen have both had some experience running the Pro Mazda on occasion. Alex, I believe your first race with the Pro Mazda was Concord last week, correct?
Yeah, for that season. Yeah, I think it was last season.
Last week. And
Right.
And the Pro Mazdas will be here in a couple weeks as an official race on Thursday nights. This coming Thursday, though, Pro Mazdas are going to be at Lime Rock Park, Lime Rock, Connecticut. So that's going to be an interesting dichotomy between running here on Tuesday night, possibly some guys running on Sunday night, and Thursday on the road course at Lime Rock. So, but for those of you who don't know what in the Blue Blazes is going on, the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League Elite Invitational Week. This is the Elite Open for the last chance qualifier, if you will. Now, what the Elite Invitational is going to be, that's going to be this coming Sunday, 200 laps here at the Milwaukee Mile in the Pro Mazda for currently any driver who has won a race in any one of the 3 open wheel series in the league, and anybody that has won a championship in any one of the 3 open wheel series in the league. So currently we're looking at lifetime entries into the event: Martin Miller, Cody Eldred, Tyler Graff, and Mike Whitaker. Martin winning Season 1 of the Pro Mazdas, Cody winning Season 1 in the IRO5s, Tyler winning Season 2 in the IRO5s, and Mike Whitaker winning the championship in the inaugural season of the DW12s, which you just watched this past Sunday from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Still too soon, Tony.
You're only pissed because the caution came out as you were about to pass him.
Yeah, that's a curse anytime I get a run.
But Alex, for what it's worth, your season has vastly improved, and I would like to point out that with your win at Talladega, you qualified for Sunday's event. So anyways, what's going to take place tonight is a 50-lap last chance qualifier event, which you are currently tuned into. Immediately following this event, we're going to go into single car qualifying for the Elite Open. And immediately following that, you're going to be tuning back into broadcasts for the heat races. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a first ever in the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. We will be doing heat races tonight. Twin 25s, if you will, to set the grid for Sunday's event. However, somebody finishes in the heat race determines where they're going to start in the Elite Invitational on Sunday. What we're going to do is we're going to take solo qualifying, anybody that qualifies as an odd number, so the number 1 qualifier, number 3 qualifier, number 5 qualifier, and so on, are all going to be in heat race number 1. 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on down the line there are going to be in heat race number 2. Where you finish in your heat race is going to determine where you start in the Elite Invitational on Sunday. So if you are in the first heat race and you win, you're on pole. If you're in the second heat race and you finish second, you're outside second row. Anybody have any questions? Good, let's move on. But
Wait, I have a question. No, I'm just kidding. It's very similar to Daytona. If any fans out there watch NASCAR, very similar setup. Just that the front row isn't set in qualifying.
right, we're not locking in the front row like you would see at Daytona. But yes, Kevin, you hit the nail right on the head. It's exactly like the duels at Daytona that they have prior to or during speed weeks. So currently looking at the leaderboard right now, as far as hot laps are going, about 3.5 minutes left in practice right now. Mike Erder sitting top of the leaderboard, 25.8. Gary Bauer, who I'm still shocked that Gary hasn't won an open wheel race yet. Currently,
he's been really good in those tin tops, man. But yeah, nothing in the open wheels.
All right,
He
so
was joking with me a little bit earlier, and we were talking. I was like, Gary, you haven't won one? He's like, yeah, let some jerk at Talladega win and chase.
shots fired. But no, we got Gary Bauer currently sitting second quick. David Llewellyn, who somehow got into this, and I'm not sure who let him through the gate, but David's already qualified with the couple wins that he had last season. A couple of new names rounding out the top 5. Thomas Powell, who's joining us from the Roadkill Racing League, currently sitting fourth quick, and the lovely and talented Layla Wilson, my normal Sunday broadcast partner, who is the league manager for the Roadkill Racing Series, currently sitting fifth quick, so something to keep an eye on there. League sponsor Bill Roberts, currently sitting sixth quick. Mick Woods, Terry Adams, Johnny Antonucci, Sam Cooper Bennett, and Hoot Baker rounding out the field. So,
yeah, I mean, it looks like we've a good fast field. I mean, about 3/4 of a second or so separating first from last, and that should make for some good racing. Once these cars hook up, there is a little bit of a draft here. And they might spread out a little bit, but I don't think so. I think we're going to see some good close racing tonight.
surprisingly small field tonight. I would have expected more drivers to be here than are. But yeah, some relatively quick times. Like you said, everybody relatively close. 50 laps. The tires on these cars. For those of you who have ever seen a hockey puck in real life, like a true, full-fledged game puck, like what you would see in an NHL game, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that probably has a softer durometer or hardness than the tires that are currently on this car. So 50 laps should be no problem for the tires. We should not need to see any fuel or tire stops. Alex, how many quick repairs did you give these kids?
3. I was never specified, so I went with league standard.
Something we're going to need to discuss going into Sunday's race, though. that number may want to be increased just a tick. But 3 fast repairs. With a relatively small field, I don't see the need for anybody to really use all 3. As we watch one car go careening off the curb going into 3.
That was Bill Roberts, our series sponsor, looped it around and luckily didn't hit anything.
Yes, very fortunate not to hit anything. And that's one of the reasons why this track was chosen, because it's a relatively wide track for what it is. It's only a mile, but it's relatively a wide mile.
It is a wide track, but man, the racing groove here is actually not even half the track surface. I mean, if you're going into turn 1 and you go in just a little bit too high, I mean, that's it. You're done. You're going to go around, and if you're lucky, you're only going to hit the wall a little bit here. So even with as wide as this track is, these drivers have to be careful. I'd say about 2.5, 3 lanes off that bottom rumple strip is about as high as you want to go.
All right, so that's kind of where we stand right now. Qualifying getting ready to get underway here, and we have the standings now up on the screen so that we can follow along with y'all as far as who's putting up times. So you guys have both had a chance to practice in this car on this track. KP, you just gave your thoughts on it. Alex, you're relatively new to the Pro Mazda to begin with, and I believe you just bought the Milwaukee Mile tonight. What are your feelings so far?
Definitely fast. The corners are very, very wide, and that kind of caught me off guard a little bit, especially when I'm playing with a setup with Jake, who prefers a little less downforce than a lot of people.
Yeah, Jake's. I got to give Jake Gordon credit. His setups are fast. The only problem is he's used to sprint car races where the entire race is at best 20 to 30 laps. So a 200 lap event, I'm wondering what type of setup he's going to be able to come up with for that.
Well, officially, this is the first official race we've done that has open setup, and I think a lot of the guys, especially some of the bigger proponents, I know Gary Bauer has, I know Jake did, I know a lot of these guys took the opportunity to take a little bit of downforce out of these cars and throw a little bit more caution to the wind.
Fair enough, but I would like to point out that as far as I know, current P1, now P2, has my setup in the car, which I tend to set my cars up more towards the long run so that they don't just beat the ever-loving bejesus out of the tires off the rip.
And that's an interesting point, but I'd like to point out tonight, I don't think there's going to be a long run.
I don't think there's going to be a long run all week, except at Lime Rock Park where it's going to be local cautions only. But
So, I mean,
go ahead, Casey.
Sorry, go ahead. Okay, well, I was just going to say, I mean, I think you're very right. I mean, these cars, if the drivers can get settled in, find that good line, find that good rhythm, they're going to be great. And I think we could see a run. But the second you step out of line, like I said, trying to pass has been a big problem here. A lot of guys will go down into 1, you feather that throttle, and if you don't do it just right,
It loops.
You're going around. There's no going to be there's no saving it. There's no drifting it through the corner like you might with a cup car or something a little bit heavier. You're going to go around. So we'll see. I think if cooler heads prevail and they pace themselves a little bit, we could see some good racing, or we might see some spins.
Well, 6 to 1 half a dozen to the other. Currently sitting P1, Gary Front Row Bauer, 26 153. Right behind him, 58 thousandths of a second, Thomas Powell in the 16. Johnny Antonucci, Mike Erder, Bill Roberts, the only 5 to take time so far.
Well, they better get running quick. We only have about 6 minutes of qualifying left.
I'm about to do the pre-race meeting here in 50 seconds.
If I could have one of you check to see if Layla is still in the session. I know that she said that she might have some issue.
She is still connected.
Okay.
The only person who seems to be having connection issues is Martin Miller right now.
Okay, and he's still trying to get into the session, but the thing is he's not even supposed to be in the session.
That is true.
So,
Martin was our Season 1 Pro Mazda champion, which, of course, locks him into the main event.
it locks him into the main event and also locks him into the event for life, basically, now. The same goes for Cody Eldred, who won the Season 1 championship in the IR05s. Tyler Graff, who won the IR05 Season 2 championship. And Mike Whitaker, who won the DW12 Season 1 championship. And then come Sunday, we're going to have a fifth person locked in for life, and that's whoever wins the inaugural RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational.
Considered the last
It's very
chance
true.
qualifier.
I think it's
to
going to be a
get into
good
the
field.
main
I think we're
race
going to have some fun.
I think so. We're going to turn it over to Alex Green, who is doing the pre-race drivers meeting now.
A few words of advice here from everything that we've discussed. Please let your tires warm up. Let's go easy with the first little bit of racing. Let's just be nice and smooth. Let's have a small field, 50 laps. Last three advance to the tail end of the field. Following this, immediately, we will begin a 10-minute qualifying session to develop the heat. So all the people who are already eligible
10 minutes of
will be in
practice,
the
10
heat
minutes of
session.
qualifying, Alex.
I'm sorry, correction. 10 minutes of practice, 10 minutes of qualifying. Standard 4-lap procedure. We'll do that, and then we'll set the heats up, and we'll go from there. It's going to be a little bit of a waiting game for a couple people. Just trying something new, trying different setups. But come Sunday, we'll have some fun. So just be smart, be safe, put on a good show. Of course, I want to thank Bill Roberts for putting this on. This is pretty exciting.
All right, so we heard
Probably
from...
enable team chat.
I just did.
Oh.
So we just heard from Alex giving the boys the last-minute pep talk as Mike Hoot Baker clicks off a 27.487 to be the last car to take time, it looks like. So 6 cars electing to take time. A handful of cars electing to not take time. Sam Cooper Bennett, Terry Adams, Mick Woods, and Miss Layla Wilson not taking time. Not really surprised there. Layla usually likes to start in the back when she's not 100% certain about what a field is going to do. Not a real shocker on the front row. One of the best qualifiers from the ISL.
They call him front row for a reason.
We call him Gary Front Row Bauer for a reason. Joined by one of the best overall qualifier and racers from the Roadkill Racing Series, Mr. Thomas Powell. Every time Tom takes to the track, expect to see him running towards the front unless he's been caught up in someone else's dumpster fire. Of course, the same goes for Gary, too. There's probably, what would you both say, probably a good 10 races this past season that Gary could have easily won had he not been caught in someone else's dumpster fire?
Yeah, or his own as well. I mean, I think back to Pocono, of course, because that's the one that we won. But
True story.
We won it because Gary. I mean, he just had the dominant car that entire race, and those the worst words in e-sport auto racing: received throughput fell to unacceptable levels, and it ruined his race and opened the door up for the rest of us. So
I think he could have won Sunday if a certain black and orange car didn't move him racing for a championship.
Oh, you mean that 30 car that was runner-up in the championship to Mike Whitaker?
Yeah, that guy finished second.
Yeah, I know.
Finished second in the race and second in the championship. But it was very interesting to see the finish of that race Sunday at Indy, considering that it was the championship winner, second place in the championship, and third place in the championship. And that's the way that the race order finished as well. So everybody that everybody that didn't get caught up in a dumpster fire late in the race did what they needed to do to try to win that championship.
I think that's going to be a secret here, is keeping this car out of trouble. You cannot afford to go a lap down in such a small race.
And that's exactly it. This race is only 50 laps long. The tow here is 2 minutes and 30 seconds unless you're in turn 4. It's very easy to go a lap down, and if you do F up and have to pit under green, you're screwed. Plain and simple, you're screwed.
Yeah, these cars, they don't take a lot of damage. I mean, it's they unlike our the IRO 5 cars or even the DW12s, which can take a little bit of damage and keep on ticking. How's the old saying go? Keep a licking and keep on ticking. These cars do not. Just a scrape against the wall could be enough to do a driver in here.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got a point. They're a lightweight car that doesn't take a lot of.
That just accidentally gridded up.
Who did?
I did.
Oh, we'll cut you some slack this time because you're not used to really. What's the phrase I'm looking for? You're used to not being on the track, or not used to not being on the track, I should say.
There we go. That'll do it. Yeah, Alex is far more used to being behind the wheel of one of these cars and not sitting here in the grandstands with us.
Absolutely. So, qualifying order: Gary Bauer, Thomas Powell making up row number 1. Johnny Antonucci and Mike Erder. Again, it's hard to believe that Gary and Johnny have not won events yet. Both of them have been very close, but both of them have normally just been caught up in someone else's dumpster fire. So Gary Bauer, Thomas Powell, row 1. Johnny Antonucci and Mike Erder, row number 2. League sponsor Bill Roberts joined with Mr. Hoot Baker in row number 3. The lovely and talented Miss Layla Wilson is going to be joined by Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett in row number 4. Row number 5 is going to see Terry Adams and Mick Woods rounding out the field.
Layla has yet to grid. That's a little bit concerning. She's got 30 seconds.
For what it's worth, and let me take a look to see if she has... her and her husband are trying to sell their house, and for some odd reason, the people who wanted to take a look at it wanted to take a look at it tonight. And she may have possibly had to leave the house quickly because they're not supposed to be there when the realtor is showing the house.
Disappointing. Looks like she is gonna miss the grid. But Mick Wood's barely getting it on too.
And it's sad that she's not going to be able to make it because my all-time the one of 2 sponsors I was looking forward to broadcasting on Sunday. Of course, KP, you're driving for PH Aware. The other sponsor that I was really looking forward to being able to announce on Sunday was the one Layla just announced that she was going to be running for. So I'm going to announce it right now. Layla Wilson was going to be running for Fuck Cancer.
Which is just one of the best names for a charity ever.
And it's the most fitting name ever for a charity.
It really is.
And it's sad that she's not. So for more information on how you can help Fuck Cancer, go to fuckcancer.org. And I'm not kidding, folks. This is a legit 501 charity.
It is, and they do amazing thing. It's a women's charity that focuses, I believe, primarily on breast and cervical cancers, things like that. And they are amazing people and do great work. But we are about to go green, I think.
Pace car is getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn onto pit road, and we are live and underway here in the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Open. Gary Bauer leading them down into turn number 1. Thomas Powell slotting into second place.
One of the things I noticed with running practice with Gary is just how you'll notice just how much more takeoff his car has coming off the corner. He's lost some speed in the corner, but I think he put just a little bit more aero in that car that he's going to get really good takeoff on the straightaways.
Well, the other thing too is Thomas Powell is able to keep it wound up a little bit more with the line that he's running on the high side. As you see Mike Erder look to the inside of Powell as they go into turn number 1. Powell, a very cerebral racer, for those of you who aren't familiar with his driving style, he knows what he has to do, and he'll put his car where he needs to go. Gary Bauer trying to break what little draft he's giving those guys behind him as he swerves to the a hard left going down the straightaway there. Erder up into second, Powell for third right now, and then you are 0.8 back to Johnny Antonucci, who currently sits in fourth place.
Yeah, he's dropped back just a little bit there. Maybe he lost the draft. Maybe he's just kind of riding it out a little bit. Who knows? But he's definitely letting those leaders get away from him.
Look at Mike Erder and Thomas Powell working together, trying to stay with Bauer here. You can definitely see the setup separation here.
Absolutely. As you see Powell go to the inside, pinches it off a little bit, lost a little bit of speed because he had Erder on his high side. Had to pinch it off on the outside of the corner, couldn't let the car run and re-accelerate. But they are definitely hanging with him. And with an open setup race like this, which is a first for the league, it's good to see that you got 3 different guys running 3 different setups, and they're able to hang with each other right now. Less than 0.2 of a second separate first to third.
Johnny Antonucci is still very much in striking distance. As long as he can get in that draft, he can get up there when he needs to. I think he's probably just taking it easy right now.
As
and something, too, we have to... I'm sorry, Tony,
go ahead,
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Something else, too, that we really have to think about is what these setups are doing to these tires. I mean, a fixed setup league, we know it's going to be kind of common across all of the cars what these tires are doing, but not here. For all we know, these 3 leaders could be quickly eating up their hockey pucks, and somebody a little bit further back might have something a little bit later on.
And that's a great point, KP. The fact that I know that if Powell's running the setup that I sent to him, he's on a long run setup. So the fact that he's able to hang with Gary Bauer, who I know is on a short run setup, this early in the event, that bodes well for Powell being able to really, pour on the beans later on in the event. I'm not sure what setup Erder's got in the car, and I'm not sure what the rest of the field is running. But the fact that these guys are really 1.7 back from Powell to Antonucci, from third to fourth, 1.7 seconds. And these guys are really putting on a clinic right now as we're working lap 8 of 50.
Yeah, third place there. It looked like a little bit of a crunch up. He was looking for some racing room on the outside and couldn't find it.
Very true. And it's indicative of the Pro Mazda on an oval that it's going to have a little bit of aero push. As you see Powell work the inside of Erder right now for second. Gary Bauer, seeing this in his rearview mirror, has got to be loving it. As they go side by side into turn number 3, Powell to the inside, Erder to the outside. Gary Bauer still showing the way.
Pushed up.
And you saw that Erder got out of that groove. And as KP mentioned earlier, it's about a 2-car width groove here. And Erder's way out of it right now. It looks like he might be trying to get a run down the back straightaway. As Powell up into second, Gary Bauer now is still showing the way, working lap 10. We will be 40 to go this time across the stripe. Gary Bauer, Tom Powell, Mike Erder, Johnny Antonucci, Sam Cooper Bennett, Terry Adams, Hoot Baker, Bill Roberts, and Nick Woods. The 9 cars taking the green tonight in the Open. Top 3 to transfer into the tail end of the Elite Invitational on Sunday. Now, again, for those of you just joining us, you are watching the last chance qualifier, if you will. The 3 cars that you're seeing on screen right now are currently in the transfer spots. Immediately following this, we're going to be going into solo car qualifying for the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational Heat Races. You heard me right, folks. Heat races. A first ever in the ISL. We will be qualifying for positions of where you're going to start in your heat, at which point we're going to run 2 25-lap heat races back-to-back. The finishing order of those 2 heat races are going to determine, heat race number 1 is going to determine the inside line, heat race number 2 is going to determine the outside line for Sunday's 200-lap RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational.
All right, and as you've been talking there, Tony, looks like Thomas Powell has started. He's searching, man. He's looking for runs. He's trying different things, and it looks like he might have something for Gary here before too much longer.
Well, I know, Kevin, you haven't run much with the Roadkill Racing Series, or RKRS as they're sometimes called. There's a reason why we call Thomas Powell the master of going faster. And that's because he's not afraid to look on a track and search for the fastest line, even if it's in the middle of the race.
And that is exactly what he's doing right now. I mean, you can just see how he's changed his line, where he's differentiating. I mean, getting right down, putting tires right on that rumble strip, going into 1, and he's right up on Bauer's backside.
Absolutely. As Powell blinks just a little bit going into 3, working lap 15 of 50, pushes a little wide coming off of 4. I think the blink may have affected him just a tick.
But before that blink, I mean, I've been watching him here the last 3 or 4 laps. He has been a machine. He has hit that line every time, every lap, and he has gotten continually closer to Bauer.
Absolutely. Bauer, Powell, Erder, Antonucci, Sam Cooper Bennett, Terry Adams, Mike Baker, we call him Hoot, Bill Roberts, and Mick Woods. Your 9 cars currently still out on track, and Mick Woods off the pace. I believe Mick may have touched the wall, as you see him there in front of the leaders, way off the pace. So the question is, what's going to happen here coming off of turn number 4? It looks like Woods going to the pits. Nope, not.
Nope.
Just getting the hell out of the way.
Along.
Just staying the hell out of the way. So good on you, Mick. Mick Woods' first car to go a lap down to the leaders. 3.8 seconds now from Mike Erder in 3rd place, Johnny Antonucci in 4th. And Sam Cooper Bennett starting to reel in Johnny Antonucci now.
So I just went back and looked, guys, and Mick Wood, he just got all 4 wheels below that rumple strip going into 1 and spun it around.
That is a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment. Now, I'm looking through the field at guys that are running, for lack of a better term, my setup. And I'm noticing that those guys are starting to reel in the guys not running that setup.
Yeah, I've been really watching the same thing. I mean, not to brag, but I think we have one of the best setup guys in all of racing at Phenomenal Motorsports.
No, we have 2 of them. we have 2 of them, because I don't do tin tops. That's the other guy. The other guy that's normally in the booth with us, but doesn't have this track.
That is very true. That is very true. We have an open wheel and dirt specialist, and then a tin top specialist. But you are very right. I mean, those cars, now that we've settled in, now that we're getting a little bit closer to halfway, they seem to be maintaining speed just a little bit better than those short run cars.
As we watch Thomas Powell all over the back wing of Gary Bauer.
Yep, and I'm sitting here back here watching Sam Cooper Bennett as he is just getting closer and closer to Antonucci just every lap. Just the same exact thing that Powell's doing, following a line, keeping with it, and he is closing on Antonucci.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things that I tried to point out to everybody was, yeah, the setup might be fast. It's fast for qualifying. If you get a long run,
yellow flag is out.
And
we have a caution.
Ooh. Sam Cooper Bennett ate the wall. Let's back that up and see what did happen to Cooper Bennett. Looks like he may have caught the rumble strips.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
Just trying to stay off the rumble strips. Doesn't look like he got too much damage. Looks like he might be able to limp it around and stay back on the lead lap. Gets back underway before the pace car comes out. So looks like Cooper Bennett is going to stay on the lead lap, going to be able to get that car fixed. And we have another car spinning that looks like Mick Woods.
Man, just guys spinning everywhere.
Nice, take that back. That was that Terry? No?
Hoot, perhaps?
It was Hoot.
It was Michael Baker.
It
Mike
was
Baker
Hoot
spun.
Baker. Hoot trying to avoid Sam, looped it coming off of 2. Missed Sam in the middle of 1 and 2, and then looped it coming off of 2. So both those cars able to stay on the lead lap as we are currently working lap 23 of 50. Gary Bauer continuing to show the way, letting those tires cool off. Looks like we might get the green just past the halfway point. Currently working lap 24 of 50. Mick Woods looks like he may have possibly put it behind the wall.
That's unfortunate, man. You want all these guys to come in and you want all these guys to come in. They wanted to be competitive, have a good race, and unfortunately, that's sometimes that's reality. He knew he wasn't competitive and went ahead and parked it.
Well, I mean that's sportsmanship too. He didn't want to be quote in the way, I guess, for lack of a better term. Not that you were, Mick, and believe me, I'm not saying you were, but you were the first car to go a lap down, and that was your decision. Good on you though for just getting out of the way. And tough break, Mick. But would like to invite you up into the booth to help me broadcast the Sunday portion of the event.
All right, so we're watching here. It looks like Sam Bennett. He's coming down pit road. Might put some tires on it and get this thing to the finish.
Good possibility. Let's take a look at his lap time as he hits his pit stall.
Yeah, I see the front end of the car lifting up, so we know that he's getting his tires. And it's just one of those things you don't want to see. Tony and Alex, is when you have someone who's running consistently and you're reeling in the car in front of you and you're feeling really, really good, and then you just mess up. You make that little mental mistake or whatever it is and cost yourself potentially the race.
Right, but the thing is, he was able to stay on the lead lap. He is out of the pit, so he is going to maintain on the lead lap. Looks like he may have possibly taken 4 tires and fuel at that point.
That's what I would say.
At least 4 tires. I'm not sure about the fuel part of it. I do know that right now with a 50% fuel tank fill that these guys are allowed, as the lights do go out on the pace car, it looks like. With a 50% fuel fill, you're looking roughly 100 laps here at the Milwaukee Mile. But I would like to point out that it was probably a good choice on Bill Roberts' part to really, as Thomas Powell hand grenades an engine.
Oh no.
Thomas Powell just hand grenaded an engine under caution.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Oh, that's not a good sign. It's
Wow.
That's a very rare thing.
I'm thinking he was getting ready for the to go back to green and just grabbed a wrong gear. Oh man, that's a heartbreaker right there for Powell.
Oh man, easy transfer spot. Was looking good, was looking strong,
And there he goes, 1 lap down as he's towing now. So that's pretty much gonna. Oh my Lanza, that's gonna put an end to his race. As Layla Wilson finally able to get on the track. Wow, that's.
I guess I accidentally made a single file restart.
No, it was supposed to go double file.
No, I mean, I think I accidentally made it single file. Are they double file?
They're getting ready to go double file.
I delayed the caution. I delayed the green since he
Well,
blew up.
it's about to go green this time. As Powell just disconnected, put it behind the wall. Layla Wilson tagging onto the tail end of the field, 19 laps down, so she's got to hope for a ton of cautions right now. As we are just under halfway.
All right, here we go.
Green,
Pace car
green,
is
green.
off. Green flag out immediately, and we're back racing.
And Johnny Antonucci getting a better jump than Mike Erder somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but anyways. Antonucci up into second, Erder in third. Gary Bauer continues to show the way. Has led since the drop of the initial green. as Antonucci to the high side. Got those tires cooled off. Antonucci trying to make some hay right now. Has the final transfer spot.
So one thing, I mean, Johnny Antonucci is one of those drivers we don't talk about a whole lot in this league, but he's not bad, guys. He's a really aggressive driver. He takes chances, and half the time makes them stick. So we could see some fun with him racing for the lead up here.
Absolutely. As you see him go to the inside of Erder right now, as they are side by side, Gary Bauer starting to stretch his lead, 0.73 seconds right now at the stripe for Bauer. You see Antonucci and Erder side by side for second right now. Antonucci has it. Now, as far as Antonucci goes, in all three series,
and Sam Cooper Bennett has bended again, guys. He is off the track.
he is towing now, so probably a good choice for Cooper Bennett. Saw what happened, just didn't want to bring another caution out, so good on you there, Sam.
Same thing, guys. He just spun it and then right back up into the wall.
So, getting back to Antonucci, John, and I hate to say this about anybody, but if it wasn't for bad luck, Johnny wouldn't have any luck at all. He has been in more other drivers' dumpster fires than probably any other driver in the league. As Sam Cooper Bennett getting the car fixed, using the fast repair, coming back out of the pits now, currently one lap down. Yellow flag is
and he
out.
has bended again.
No, that was Antonucci that time.
Oh, I'm sitting back here watching Sam is back in again. Actually, I take that back, guys. I was looking at the replay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was Antonucci just looped it coming through the 1-2 complex. Now, the good news for Cooper Bennett, because he was out of the pits when the caution came out, he should get the lucky dog.
Make it a whole new race, guys.
And in case there's any wondering what... we're going to go to that camera. If there's any question as to what charity Sam Cooper Bennett is driving for, we're going to go to... nope, that doesn't seem to show it. So we're going to go to a chase cam.
Oh, there's a great charity that Sam is actually running for. We're really proud of him for doing it.
You see the pH aware dots on the side of his car. So pH aware and the mighty for Sam Cooper Bennett. Again, Miss Layla Wilson declaring she's running for Fuck Cancer. And I can't be happier that I get to say that charity's name on a stream, because it is the most opportune name ever for a charity.
And I would like to take a moment, if I can, Tony, to tell you on Sam's car, there is a hashtag. It's all in for Addis. And to explain that, we had a patient who was a fan of this league and a friend of the Team Phenomenal, who was very supportive of all of our endeavors, pass away, unfortunately, this weekend. Addis Doyle was an Irish pulmonary hypertension patient, and to honor him, Team Phenomenal is running It's All In for Addis over the next several weeks.
Hashtag all in for Addis. The second hashtag, do it for Doyle.
Yes, very much.
Terry's got to be thinking his lucky stars right now.
Absolutely, because Terry Adams was the next car in line to gain a spot on that one. Terry Adams up into the transfer spot. So right now, as the field sits, working lap 35 of 50. It'll be 15 laps to go this time across the stripe. Gary Bauer, Mike Erder, Terry Adams, Bill Roberts, Hoot Baker, Johnny Antonucci, Sam Cooper Bennett, Thomas Powell retiring from the race, Mick Woods still in pit road, and Layla Wilson running in 10th right now.
So. All right, so everyone's pacing down here, down past these big digital grandstands at the Milwaukee Mile, and hopefully we got one to green.
A virtually packed digital grandstand here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Yes, there's not an empty seat in the house tonight.
So the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational Last Chance Qualifier. Top 3 cars from this race will transfer into Sunday's RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League Elite Invitational. Brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest or looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know the ISL sent you.
All right, here we go, Tony. They're lined up 2 by 2. Pace car's about to go off, and 14 laps to go.
14 laps to go. Gary Bauer has led every lap so far. Let's see if he can hang on as the pace car makes the hard left, just barely missing the barrels there. Gary Bauer still showing the way.
And look at Terry Adams looking to the inside there, looking racy. He wants into this invitational, and he wants it bad.
Absolutely. Terry Adams really pushing hard right now. Mike Erder holding down second spot. Terry Adams, doing what he can. Bill Roberts making a run now, too. Later in the race, like I told you, that setup's going to start to come in, and Bill Roberts up into 4th. Wouldn't it be something if Bill and Terry both got into the Elite Invitational?
Now, the question I have is if Bill makes it into the Elite Invitational and wins it, does he pay himself?
It's kind of like the situation if I won the DW12 championship.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that should that situation occur, Bill Roberts would probably donate all winnings because it would be $50 to win, $10 because he transferred out of the Open, and on top of that, the $50 check to the...
Oh, and we have 2 cars in the wall. Sorry to cut you, Tony, but it looks like Layla Wilson and Sam Bennett again into the fence.
Let's go to the replay and see what happened there.
Sam.
And you saw the tail end of it. You see Bennett behind Wilson there as they go into 1. Bennett to the inside, just bombs it in there. All of a sudden lifts off the throttle because he was pushing up and just tags the rear tire of Wilson's car, sends her around. So I believe that might do it for Bennett.
Yeah, he parked it.
Yeah, I think Sam has unfortunately put it behind the wall for the day.
And that car of Wilson's is damaged. You saw her actually going onto the grass coming through the 3-4 complex, hanging onto it right now, trying to limp it back to the tail end of the field so that she doesn't get the EOL penalty for entering a closed pit. But we are currently 10 laps to go. We're looking roughly a 6-lap shootout when we go back to green. So if Terry Adams, Mike Erder, Bill Roberts, Johnny Antonucci, if anybody's got anything for Terry or for Gary Bauer, they're gonna need to show it soon. So it's gonna be time to put them up on the dash, and I'll let you decide what is going to be put up on the dash, depending on which gender you are.
Well, we're about to find out. I don't know. Some of these guys, they're getting ready. I think they're going to be racing awfully hard.
Well, one guy who's not afraid to lay it all on the line is Mike Erder. I've been on the track with Mike before, and Mike is not afraid to, especially when it comes down to crunch time, Mike's not afraid to put the car on the line.
Right.
But that being said, he's not stupid either. And right now he's in a transfer spot, and he knows he's in a transfer spot.
Yes, and I mean, looking at Terry Adams too there, he will defend that. I mean, Terry Adams has a reputation in the league as kind of being the friendly uncle, but we also call him Uncle Salty for a reason.
Now, mind you, Terry, when you're watching the replay of this, that was KP that said that, not me.
Yeah, I think Terry knows. I've had some really good races with Terry over the years here, and he can put his wheels with the best of them, and he can be really aggressive when he needs to be. And I think we're about to see it.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it'll be good to see Terry into the Elite Invitational, especially considering with all the work Terry has put in across the 3 open wheel series in this league. Terry has, for the past 2 seasons, really led the charge for the setup committee in the IRO5s and DW12s. And he's basically been the lead driving coach for the Pro Mazda Icebreaker series. All 3 series brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com. That being said, league sponsor Bill Roberts currently sitting in 4th.
Right, so we have probably the 2 of the most influential people in our racing league sitting right there in that bubble spot in the first the first pretenders, as we used to call it in the dirt tracks. And it could get very interesting here over these last couple of laps. I believe it'll be 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go when they go back to green.
Especially when you've got Terry Adams and Bill Roberts starting side by side. So this is where it gets quite interesting. And Johnny Antonucci back up in there, back up into the mix as well.
Green flag.
As I am not live. Now I'm live.
Nor am I, and we have a
3
huge
wide.
stack up.
3 wide. Hoot Baker, the meat in the sandwich.
Sorry, whoa. Oh, and
who wrecked?
Antonucci is around and into the wall.
Off the racing line, and we stay green.
Oh, that is not what you want to see for Johnny.
No, it's not. But right now, Gary Bauer showing the way. Mike Erder trying to get a run on him. Bill Roberts, and they are wrecking in turn 3. That looked like Layla Wilson and Mick Woods. No, that was
Baker involved.
That was
caution?
Baker and Wilson.
Man, so no caution, and we are racing for the last spot. It is Terry Adams and Bill Roberts.
As you see, Adams there in the black car, Bill Roberts in the white and red car.
And guys, I guarantee you right now, neither one of these guys is pushing it as hard as he has ever done before in these cars.
True story.
These guys want in.
You watch the speeds that these guys are hitting. Mike Erder with the draft just hit a 142 hauling off into turn number 3. Terry Adams without the draft, 145 coming down the front straightaway.
And we might have a battle for the lead too, guys.
We
Erder
do.
is right here with Gary Bauer.
So Bauer to the inside, Erder on the high side. Erder keeping it pinched down a little more than he was earlier on in the event. Gary Bauer running what we've commonly started to refer to in the league as the Llewellyn line, the low line all the way around the track, which at a place like this is really going to kill a little bit of speed in the corner. You see Erder start to make up some distance.
To the inside.
Absolutely.
Look at Terry and Bill. They're side by side.
We're side by side for the lead. We're side by side for the final transfer spot. And we have a new leader.
But here, they're going to split Hoot Baker. Oh, my, this is exciting.
Erder leading that lap, Bauer ducking in behind him. We're following
2 laps to go.
2 to go as Gary Bauer bombs it to the inside. Erder giving him plenty of room. A lot of respect for these guys. They know they have they know that they are in a transfer spot, but both of them looking to claim that, hey, I won the Open.
Yeah, and here come now Bauer with about a 1 car length lead off the corner.
And that was Roberts into the inside wall.
Oh, and Roberts is... Oh,
White flag is out. That's going to do it. Terry Adams going to get the transfer spot.
But we still have a battle for the lead, guys.
I think momentum to the low side here.
And Bauer just pushed Erder up the track, just made him flinch just a little bit. Erder blinked first. Bauer's going to win it. Erder for second. Terry Adams for third. And we're going to go back and take a look and see what happened to Bill Roberts. So you see Roberts in front of, as they go into turn number 1, this was a lap ago, or 2 laps ago. Adams to the inside, that's Roberts on the outside. They're coming up on some lap traffic right now.
Oh, and Roberts just got into the back of Hoop Baker, and just it looked like it bent his
Yep,
steering.
that's exactly what happened. He lost the front wing. And it did bend the suspension because coming off of turn 4, Bill Roberts, the car just took a hard right turn. So
Oh man, that is so
winning
heartbreaking.
the I need to find him here. I'm going to bring him down into the broadcast booth.
User was moved to your channel.
Your winner of the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Open, Mr. Gary Bauer. Gary, how are you feeling right now, sir?
I feel pretty good. I got so excited I did my burnout a little early, didn't I?
Just a little bit. Talk us through the last couple of laps there with Mike Herter.
That was a lot of fun. I saw that lap car there, and I was hoping I could get underneath them and have Mike go to the outside, so I could beat him back to the turn there.
All right, so I have to ask you there, Gary. You finally won an open wheel race. What's it feel like?
Well, it feels pretty good. I've won a few of them on iRacing, but not in this league. I took that target off my car tonight.
Well, you ran just about as close to a perfect race as anyone could hope for here. So, good job, man.
Thank you very much. I worked hard on the setup, and I'm looking forward to the race next Sunday. I think Jay's going to do well. He has the same setup in the next race, so I have to go watch him.
What do you mean you have to go watch
him?
All
I can say
You're
about
not
your setup, man, and your drive today is
hold it.
If you see Sam Bennett snooping around your engine before next Sunday, I don't know anything about it.
I'm going to hit him with a pint.
Let me just remind you, Gary. You just transferred into the Elite Invitational.
10-4.
So you're not just going to be watching Jay. You're going to be racing against your teammate on Team Booze Brothers.
Right. In the next race, I think I'm going to race control.
In the heat race. Yeah. In the heat race. Okay.
Yeah.
Good point. Congratulations, Gary. We will see you again Sunday on the track, anyways, in the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational.
I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up here, Tony. So just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead, Alex.
User left your channel.
Anybody here?
Yeah, we're here.
Yep,
we're here.
Oh, okay.
Alex just left to go set up the qualifiers for the Elite Invitational qualifying session, which you're not going to be running because you're already in your starting tail end of the field. But from the looks of that setup, you should be doing quite well. Right now we're gonna bring in or not. He just
Mike
moved on me here. There we go. We're gonna bring in Mr. Terry Adams, who is qualified third or finished third, I should say, in the last chance qualifier. Terry, you got your wish. You are now in the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational.
That's what I didn't mean to run away. I just forgot you were going to pull us in, so I started going up to main gate. Sorry.
That's all right, sir.
No, all I wanted to do was run steady laps, and hope it happened, and it did. I thank a lot of guys for giving me a lot of room.
Well, I want to tell you something.
Congratulations, Terry. Good run.
Yeah, I want to tell you something, Terry. I may have made some comments here in the stream, and please don't hurt me for them, but we were rooting for you up here, and we were really pulling for you, man. Congrats on transferring.
I got worried because when I went to kick in the session, it did one of those red bars across the top that says it's full or whatever. And I'm like, oh, really? What? Didn't I kill the goat? What god did I anger? And then all of a sudden it came up and it clicked. I'm in. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
Well,
this is I want to say real quick to Betty Lou. This is her home track because she lives in Minnesota. So that was for you, Betty Lou. I'm done.
Absolutely. Betty Lou, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple minutes if you want to join us for the Elite Invitational qualifying heat races, Miss Betty Lou. But Terry, I do want to go out and I do want to just point out, I'm not the one that called you his favorite uncle. And that's all I'm going to say on that because I know how you feel about that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me. Again, once I got out there, all I kept trying to do was run the same line I was running at the practices and everything else, and like I've done in the past, just not get into trouble and move my way up.
Well, it seemed to work for you tonight, man. I mean, we were uh, that last caution flag when we were looking at the rundown. We are like, oh man, there's Terry Adams, good old T. Adams himself, and we were rooting for you, man. Really happy to see it. And I have to ask, how does it feel to get in?
It feels great. I mean, again, as I said in race, if Bill hadn't came after me, I'd have felt bad. If he'd have just laid back, I would have felt bad. I'm glad he made the charge up because my front tires, for some reason in the setup, were good all the way through at practices and everything else. We're getting greasy, so I was having to float and play just to keep that low line. But once in a while, even a blind squirrel gets a nut.
All
Well,
right,
Terry,
well,
if you'd like, I can send you my setup after this event, and you can play with it and hopefully have something for Sunday.
Tony,
No, I was stupid me. I had a setup that worked a little better, but when we were at the practice, because of the humidity, I played with it. Once I got in the race, I went, oh, I should have, but it's too late then. But thank you.
All right, fair enough. But
Tony, can I announce right here that Blues Brothers are going to be bringing Mike Erder and his teammate on board here this season to run with us?
all right, so Team Booze Brother, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Team Booze Brothers expanding to a 4-car team. And I dare say that with Mike Erder coming aboard, you guys are definitely padding your resume. Let's put it that way.
All right, good. Yeah, it's hard to find two other guys that drink Scott. No?
Actually, when we had that last restart, when I looked over and I knew it was Mike on the outside there, that actually made me feel way more comfortable.
Well, the thing is, Mike Erder, one of the most hard-nosed racers currently on the roster in the Icebreaker Pro Mazda series. However, that being said, you're not going to find a fairer racer than Mike Erder. He'll run you hard, but he's not the type of guy that's going to run you dirty. So,
and him running the outside on semi-cooled tires, again, that first turn, I was feeling a little iffy until I got about to the end of the backstretch, and they were still a little greasy. But there are many drivers I watched at practice. If they were up on that outside, I was getting ready to go, pit lane or pit road exit. It might look good right now.
yeah, and that has a lot to do with the open setup.
Oh,
But
yeah.
congratulations, you guys. I wish Mike were in TeamSpeak. Hopefully
He's
next time he will be.
in right now. I know you guys have to go to the next race, but he's signing in TeamSpeak right now, so Jay and I can talk to him further and finalize this.
Okay, well, I'm looking for him right now. If he does get in before we end this broadcast, I'll bring him down and get his thoughts. But Gary, real quick, talk us through that last restart when you had a run. Mike got a run on you coming off of 2, got the clear going into 3. What went through your mind?
Well, actually, I knew that I could tell by his setup he didn't have as much downforce as I did because he could pull up on me in the straightaways, but I would kind of leave him in the turns. So I knew that if I gave him that spot rather than dropping down and blocking him, that I could try to set him up for a last lap pass. And, the draft in this car is huge. If you're right on him going into the turn, it just kicks you right by him.
Well, that's the thing is this car is probably one of the best drafting cars in all of iRacing.
Thank goodness, because I fell asleep on that last start. I missed it real bad. And my spotters even, and I want to thank Bob. Bob did a beautiful job spotting for him, Mr. Labracoca, when I just screwed his name up. But, watching my back and stuff, he did a great job. But, there's always that variable of, okay, ready, and then something flashes in the screen, distracts you for that half second. It's like, crap, they're going.
It doesn't take long on those starts, and they're gone.
Well, as long as I got back behind you guys as there on the back stretch, I wasn't going to fade any more than where I was. As long as I knew where I was, I just was worried about holding position. I wasn't worried about going for it. All I want to do is transfer. Big picture racing.
Yes, definitely
Well,
big picture racing. You got. Mike's in.
I gotta say, Tony, Sue's been on me for 2 years to clean up the garage. Well, I finally did that today. It's all spick and span, nice and neat, and I won tonight. So she
User
said,
was
"See."
moved to your channel.
All right, so joining us now,
Well, there
the
you go.
third qualifier, finishing second in tonight's race, Mr. Mike Erder. Mike, congratulations on the transfer spot into the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational.
well, maybe he's here.
Allegedly, he's here.
Mike, are you here? Maybe he doesn't have a button set up too.
Mike, is your mic on?
Mike, are you shy?
Don't be shy.
He might be Mike shy.
I have candy bars.
Sorry, I had to do that. So the other session's already up, and I screwed up and can't get in, right?
What do you mean can't
It
get in?
is not up as of yet.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go spot for Bob, so I want to make sure I return the favor.
Okay, is that any better?
I don't know if that sounds
There
right
he
either,
is.
but
There he is.
Oh, the Elite Invitational is up. It is in tournament sessions.
Mike, are you gonna join our team? Are we gonna make it official right here?
Is this Gary?
That would be
Yes,
Mr. Gary
it is.
Bauer asking you if you are agreeing to be the third of four cars in Team Blues Brothers.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
All right, so you heard it here
Welcome aboard.
first,
All
folks. Team Booze Brothers, now officially a 3-car team, soon to be a 4-car team as soon as the final confirmation comes in from Mike Erder's Pro Mazda Icebreaker Series teammate. So, with that being said, the Elite Open is now over. Gary Bauer, Mike Erder, and Terry Adams punching their tickets into the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational on Sunday. Gentlemen, get your setups ready for 200 laps, and we will see you, all three of you, on Sunday.
thank you, Tony. Thank you, guys.
10-4. Good
All
run,
right.
guys.
Good
That was
job,
fun.
guys. Good job.
Yeah,
So
thanks, guys.
you have been watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. This has been the Elite Invitational from Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Mile in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tony Trapasso for Alex Green, who was on race control tonight, for Mr. Kevin Paskowich, saying we will see you in approximately 20 minutes for the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational Heat Race number 1. So stay tuned to this channel for the next stream.